Alrighty, be live. Okay, so time. Oh, start time in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, hello folks. I'm FroobMcGuffin, and this is Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is obviously a sequel to Titanfall 1, but Titanfall 2 has a fully fleshed out single-player campaign. The
shit must have power cycled the sim pod since last time. We'll have to recalibrate it.
The game is based on heavily modified source engine, so a lot of the movement tech that you see in other source games are in this game in some way. Obviously, bunny hopping is in some fashion, although with Titanfall's movement, it's a little different. So what I'll do is I'll show off at the start here the movement, because we're going through the gauntlet, where Lastimosa teaches us how to be a pilot. But this is basically our bunny hopping. What you will have seen me do is you'll have seen me sprint forward, and then jump, and then crouch in midair. That gives us a bit of a speed boost, which allows us to get momentum that we can use to bunny hop like this. We have to wait for Lastimosa to stop speaking before we actually will run that wall. And up here we actually have to wait for a few seconds before we get a double jump to be able to get up here. I'm just going to reset my speed a little bit. Also, Lastimosa spawns on that corner there. You can get knocked off by him. It's not too much of a time loss as long as he starts this dialogue. The next actual, the guns that come down here are based on him coming over. Hold reload and then switch gun here and you'll have a fully loaded gun. And now we're going to do a bit of frag boosting. We use frag boosting in literally 2 places, here and a certain skip later on, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So we're just hopefully going to get good speed boost off of this. Not the greatest of frag boosts, you can get much better, and I'm going to keep... Oh, that's bad. I'm going to keep frag boosting and also wall kicking. Wall kicking is obviously a really fast way of going far. I'm not doing very well with my frag boosting. My frag boosting is actually awful. That's a good sign. And the 25-26 gauntlet is awful. Excellent. So, notice that it said the difficulty is set to hard. Oh, also there'll be moments like this in the run, where you'll see like 2 dialogue choices. We know which dialogue choices are the fastest that we want to pick. Sometimes we'll actually want to pick the slower dialogue choices, which I'll point out. One especially in 2 levels time, Blood and Rust. But I'll explain that when we get to it. But we use frag boost in one other place, so I'll point it out when we get there. And now we basically just go through the motions. For most of the start of this run, it's a little rough. I'm just gonna delay calling a second here. There's a very weird bug here, where if you call down your Titan on like the exact pinpoint precise perfect frame, BT will explode and you'll lose like 10-20 seconds because you have to restart this bit. It's a little dumb. I don't know why it happens. It's a little dumb, but it's there. So the trouble with the start of this run comes with the first like 9 or 10 minutes. The problem is there's a lot of world building at the start, and there's a lot of cutscenes, and we can't skip these cutscenes. You notice Lastimosa's doing something here. This is going to be important for later.
But not today. No time.
Lastimosa.
Anderson,
You son of a bitch. See you down there.
we're going to see a new planet today. Maybe even die on it.
Definitely not foreshadowing anything. Nope.
See you down there, Rifleman. Good luck.
So we're still riflemen. We're Jack Cooper. We're a rifleman in the militia. We're not a proper pilot. We're just undergoing special VR training last night. So I'm just gonna spam space and enter here. There's a weird bug. Somebody found a little bug in regards to changing Titans, where you could basically stack 2 Titan cores together, and the only way Respawn could actually kind of like fix that was to add this little menu implementation where the menu goes back to a different option, or to the top option, for like a second. So in that time we have to spam, or in that time what we can do is we can spam enter, and I spam space as well just in case to try and get it, to make sure that we get easy difficulty. The run is on easy difficulty because of certain nasty bits. There are there are runs that use Master difficulty. You'll notice there are only 3 runs on Master difficulty because running Master difficulty on this game is painful. It's very, very painful. Enemies kind of see you through walls, you go down in like 2 hits. It's just a lot easier for us to pull off our speed tech on easy, and you'll see a heck of a lot of really decent speed tech. But that doesn't mean that you can't die on easy, because you can very easily die. Very easily at certain points. Like, literally, you won't see people running any % master, because it's just, no. I'll do a run of it one day, but just, it's something you psych yourself up for, because it's awful. What we want to do here is there's going to be some debris that comes in on the right-hand side of the screen. What we can do is we can get a little bit of a speed boost at the start. There's a tiny bit of a ramp next to this debris that we can use to go a little fast. And then we're going to try and get in front of the debris so that we don't get hit. We're going to want to hope that these NPCs in front of us don't get in our way. That guy in particular that just gets shot, he is a pain in the backside. He will get in your way. He's moved to a nice position, and there's one there in the middle at the minute who's not in a favourable position. I almost died there. I actually lost a little bit of my speed. But then we just want to basically keep bunny hopping. You can see that our speed is being built up. And now we have about another 3-4 minutes of cutscenes. So now we're going to get introduced to the main villains here. Again, these cutscenes are kind of, not the bane of the speedrun, but they're a pain in the backside, because if you... The Gauntlet and BT7274, these are probably the 2 levels that have the worst starts because of how much downtime there is. But once we get past these like next few set of cutscenes, the game actually begins. That's where we kind of figure like the speedrun begins. It kind of begins at the 9th minute rather than the 1st. But obviously you have control in the Gauntlet, so obviously it's still part of it. Also, yes, as pointed out, 18-hour memes. When you run this game so much and you can't skip these cutscenes, every sentence becomes a meme. Every sentence becomes a meme. This is Richter. He's a lovely fella. He's got, for some reason, this fascination with people's ears. That doesn't belong to you, sir.
We have 18 hours. 18 hours until the Ark is sealed and ready for delivery.
18 hours is a very big meme in this community because, oh god.
Right, Richter. Leave the corpses alone, you sick bastard. We've got a job to do, eh? We make corpses, we don't clean them up. Let's go.
Just as to preface the rest of the run right now, one of the patches in between the time when I was running this seriously, so about ESA time and now, has made my game a tiny bit laggy at points. I've hopefully done correct settings to put that down to the minimum. There's one level later on that might turn into a slideshow for about 10-20 seconds, but hopefully I've managed to do it properly. That's just a small preface. It used to happen, then a patch fixed everything, and it didn't. Now, because we're shots fired and I have a quota to fill, let's go shoot BT a few times. But we are getting our pistol out specifically because there's a shotgun over there that we want to replace this pistol with. Oh yeah, I've been having PC crashes a lot. We think we fixed it, although it's still acting a bit off. If it does unfortunately crash, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I have had the game crash as well thanks to this patch as well. It's kind of weird.
Take my Titan. Use my helmet and my jump kit. This is the real thing. Take care of him.
Shouldn't have foreshadowed your own death there, Lastimosa. Whoops. So, BT is unfortunately out of commission. He's missing 2 batteries, and we're gonna have to go and get them. So this is where the speedrun properly starts. This is where we start to have some fun. So we don't have our double jump just yet. We only have a single jump, but we still have our slide function, so we can still do bunny hopping, etc. But it's just no double jump until a little... We have to, like, calibrate our helmet to the fact we're a new user, but that happens at a specific point, so... There's the shotgun. I'm just going to use the bunny hopping just to go reasonably fast around here. Being careful not to fall down. Falling down will cost us time. There's a pit here that is so easy to dodge. I fell in it in the last shots fired, and I don't want to fall in it again. So I'm just going to take it easy this time. You are not claiming me again, sir. Right, so we're coming up to the next part is what we call Death River. Death River, there's no real speed tech to it, but it's a pain in the backside to do consistently. There's like certain bushes and trees on the side of this river that are solid, and you can just easily go into them and lose like every like semblance of like momentum, etc. So I'm just gonna get over there and then just reset myself and do it manually. Like that tree there, that's solid. These trees are solid. It's sometimes a lot easier to just... I lost my speed because of that. It's sometimes just a lot easier just to stop yourself and then just go over the river. There are walls that you can jump on, but some of them have like low ceilings that it's easier to like, kind of bounce off of. Ah, thank you. These walls, you want to wait a little bit before using cloak. You can... Good, he moved forward. I'm going to take that slowly because I did not have that much speed. You can miss out on the first wall jump there. Again, like I said, wall kicks are your fastest method of doing this. And we're coming up to the slide that's a pain in the backside. Can we get a good slide? No. The angle I had was pretty bad. The angle for that slide is a little weird. You have to kind of tilt yourself in the middle of the slide. But yeah, I didn't do that very well. So now we're going to go back to deliver the battery back to BTE. If you can slide here without hitting that top part of the ceiling, you can actually get a good bit of speed here. But unfortunately I've only got that average bit of speed. Careful of that thing. That thing will knock you down. Cook a grenade. I usually miss one or two. But as long as you're ready. So next up is River Skip. You usually take the pathway to the right. Like over there, but I'm just going to take a... It's a quicker method, I'm just going to slowly build it up, because I don't want to mess it up. If you jump at this angle, there's a very slight invisible ramp there that you can use to pull yourself up. I just did not want to die there. I have a penchant of dying in the most stupid of ways, so... For those bits, I'm going to take it a tiny bit slower, just to make sure that I don't... But I get to show off the actual speed tech that way. So again, you can see here the wall kicks are, like, really fast. And you saw there, I bounced my head off the ceiling. You have to be very careful with that here. There is a tree coming up, that tree over there. We can boost off the top of it if we have the right angle. I'm not going to try it because I just hit my head. It's a pain in the backside because there's basically a giant hitbox in that tree. If you hit the top of the hitbox, you can slide along it, obviously, save some time. If you hit the side of it, you're dying. You're just going off the edge. But then the rest of this is nice and simple. Yeah, unfortunately, we ignore BT a lot in this run. I'll try and do some of the extra dialogue to like flesh out the plot so that everybody knows what's going on.
A section of the Militia's Special Recon Squadron, or SRS. Her name is Sarah Briggs.
But like I said earlier, there's certain dialogues. Decent first slide. Bad second vent. So I was spamming jump there because sometimes you can glide through the vent. Like you can just go really fast and just go straight through the vent. Unfortunately, I got the good first part, but bad second part. So now that we have this, we're going to go down here, and again, hopefully I can get a good bit of momentum. Good. So we can just skip that wall. Ah, no, that's bad. I didn't want to hit that. Because now the enemies are going to jump down and spawn. Usually you want to just be able to get straight through. This is going to be a bit slow now because of that. So usually you can get there just after the first one drops and before the second two drop, and then you can obviously cook a grenade for it over there, take care of them, then take care of the guy who drops down.
Power at full capacity. Pilot, We must establish a neural link in order to proceed. Please embark when ready.
Now comes our first tutorial for BT. We're not going to be able to move or do anything like that, so we unfortunately have to do this tutorial. It's going to teach us about the first loadout that we get, the ability to kind of just like grab all the bullets and fling them back, missile pod lock, etc. Yeah, it's definitely an over 17, 100%.
Establishing neural link. Neural link established. Rifleman Jack Cooper, you are now confirmed as acting pilot of BT-7274. Protocol 2, uphold the mission. Our orders are to resume Special Operation 217. Rendezvous with Major Anderson at the SRS.
So BT's laying down the law of what we got to do.
Detecting
Like I said, we've got this tutorial to get through, unfortunately. Our first ability here, like I said, we're able to just grab hold of these bullets. If we aim at a certain like roughish angle, about here, just use up all of it, and it kills most of them. Sometimes it kills all of them, sometimes one will fall over like that, which is useful. I didn't want to kill all of them, and you're going to see why. These 4 come down, and even though the bullets coming at you, you can't grab them until they hit like the actual point where it's supposed to go. I shouldn't have shot them first, I should have shot these 2 first. But then we get the Acolyte Pod where we can just missile lock. If you kill all of them fast, you don't have to wait there, so that's not great. So here I'm going to specifically use this to grab hold of as many as I can, so that I can kill all of these at the same time. That's happened to me before. So sometimes when I hit W here, it actually pushes me out of BT.
Sure about this?
That's a weird bug. It rears its head around every once in a while, and it's so stupid. So we look specifically here to spawn this guy over here. I want to put down smoke cloud to do damage to this guy. Obviously, you get a full missile lock. He falls back, and he's dead. In a previous patch, like months and months and months ago, like the end of last year, beginning of this year, when we used to stand there and use the cloud next to him, he didn't actually move. He was wonderful. Like, he wouldn't move. He wouldn't do anything. As soon as BC finishes that dialogue, we go forward so that we can get a fast transition. My spacebar isn't. My shift bar isn't working all of a sudden. What? This game has some curious bugs. At some point, I'm expecting it to eat one of my double jumps. It happens sometimes. It's a little weird. I don't know why. But I couldn't sprint there, so hopefully... Okay, good. What is going on? So Blood and Rust has the first like big major skip of the game. It'll be coming up towards the end. For the first part, it's just basically getting through this starting bit as fast as possible. And then we'll be attempting to do a little thing called Disembark Boost. Disembark Boost allows us to get out of BT and kind of launch ourselves into the sky. I don't know if they changed the patch. I used to be able to slide along the top of that tone that drops down there, but I haven't been able to hit it at all in like the last few months. So I'm just doing my missiles on him so that he doesn't get in my way. I'm gonna pick up a new loadout here called Tone. I'll speak more about Tone when we get to it at the end of this level, because this is one of the loadouts that we'll be switching to quite a bit.
If it's somebody's in love.
A human's concept of love requires admiration, attraction, devotion, and respect.
So I'm going to push him back with missiles, and then I'm going to try and... No, I didn't get the Disembark Boost. I'll be able to show off Disembark Boost later. But if I Disembark Boost, I'd have been able to get up here, like, kind of straight away. If you can Disembark Boost, like, properly, what you want to do is you want to stand over here and Disembark Boost, because you can just go straight up and land through this hole. So in a second, these doors will open, and we're just going to go reasonably fast, hopefully.
Pilot, I am tracking your location. Recommend you seek an exit.
Listen up. This is Kane.
I went too high with that jump.
What we have here, my IMC militia friends, is a failure to communicate. And that's okay.
He wasn't dead. I had to shoot him a second time, otherwise his hitbox would have stopped me. We're going to go over here. Just utilize this really quickly. Because this way is free from snipers. We're going to use our scopes, our stealth, so that we don't actually get hit by those snipers. And that's just an easy way to get over, and it's quicker, obviously. So hopefully I can have a good cavern here, because this area is a little rough to do. Oh, nice, this is good. Nice. It's super satisfying to get that done properly. If you saw me there, I actually let go of crouch, but the game actually considered me still hard crouch. So I'm gonna jump off the door there. Try and, yep, good. The enemy on the top, I think it's a stalker, he can actually jump down and block you. I accidentally bumped my head, so it's a little bit stupid. So I'll realize this.
So I got word that there's some Vanguard class Titan and an SRS pilot taking out my IMC support.
Ah, this must be again.
Attention. There is a
These guys can get in the way, so obviously get ready. So, script's coming up. We're gonna intentionally do a slow bit of dialogue on BT to make sure that he stays in place, the one after this one. Just gonna make a quick save real quick. So what we want to do is we want to do Missing Me Already here. It's the slower dialogue. You can see BT there. We want him specifically to stay there. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to come down and we're going to open the flow gate.
IMC security forces.
Long time no see.
Hit this because we need a specific dialogue trigger, otherwise the game's going to soft lock. Please hit it. Yes. As soon as he says marking your HUD, we can get in BT. If we get in BT before that point, the game will soft lock. That was a perfect sludge skip. That skips a giant, massive arena fight that's in there that takes about 4 or 5 minutes. Or, well, probably not that long, but it just skips out a massive chunk. So, that's awesome. I've been messing that up in practice for some reason. It's like one of the easiest skips of the run, but I've been messing it up, so I'm actually really happy with that. Next up is Kane. You'll see that I switched to Tone, specifically. Is Overkill himself.
You were not invited to Kane's party, and that's why you're dead. Well, well, another runaway hero with an SRS Vanguard class Titan. Woo! Now we're talking. Bring it, knife.
So I'm gonna intentionally get a lock on him there, get a lock on this guy, and then one of your moves is to fire pods against missiles against people you've locked onto. It's quicker to use to, and you can see me change class there to reload quickly. It's quicker to use, not use your core against Kane, but I messed up my max. So just speed it up a bit. That's the end of Blood and Rust.
Well done, pilot.
So now we're just gonna, you know,
Kane's helmet
steal his helmet.
still intact.
Take his radio.
A Vanguard Titan and its pilot are breaking through the facility. Over.
Dang it, Task. But yeah, as mentioned by other people, there are a load of other online marathons that are awesome, like this. GTA Marathon, European Speedrunner Assembly, North American Speedrunner Assembly. You've got stuff like RPG Limit Break as well for, like, if you want to watch RPGs, etc. Like, there's loads of really great marathons that people, like, put on throughout the year, just like Shots Fired. And actually, whilst we're on the subject of Shots Fired, I'd like to actually, like, extend my thanks to the staff, the runners, everyone who's been involved with this Shots Fired. It's been a brilliant marathon this year. Making it 7 days as well. Like, it's been absolutely brilliant. Everyone's done a really great job. Right, so next up we've got Into the Abyss. Into the Abyss is made up of 3 chapters. The first one is mostly just going around with BT. There's a few little bits of speed tech kind of that we can do. It's mostly just optimized movement.
Major Anderson went this way.
I jumped a little too early.
Be a shortcut to the rendezvous.
I was supposed to land on the stairs and slide down. Whoops. So we're gonna head up here. We're gonna grab Scorch on the way through. Scorch is another one of the loadouts that we're actually gonna use quite a lot in the run.
Kane is not responding. I think our militia pilot's trying to be a hero.
And we're gonna go down.
Got to be headed your way.
So mostly it's about when you boost and your timing for your boost. I'm obviously saving it for moments like this, when you can like just like glide and go through the sky, etc. I'm obviously gonna save it again for here. I'm gonna save it for when I turn a corner, because when you turn corners you kind of slow down a little bit. If you make sharp turns, that is. So there's another sharp 90-degree turn coming up down here. I'm going to save this when we go in this tiny tunnel. And then here's the other 90-degree turn. There's a little bit of a time save here if I can do this right, this next bit. That will kill you if you go in front of it too fast, so loop 1 will careful. Got it. So that'll just push us along a little bit, and I didn't manage to get out of the way in time. Nuts. That's a bad time loss. So you can actually use that to kind of push yourself along a little bit, but as you saw, if you're like kind of too close in the middle or you don't get out of there in time, you do die. So, whoops-a-daisy. I got to show it off at least. I'll do it properly this time. And again, like I said, with that one you have to wait because it actually basically kills you, that one. I'll specifically wait. These ones don't kill you, they just push you along, like lose you some time. But basically, when that happens, what you want to do is you want to go onto that ramp there and boost over that little yellow bit to the side. I'm going to switch to Scorch now. You'll see that my move for my G button is a gas canister. If you use a fire move like gas canister, it causes a big like burst of fire. Oh, you pain in the backside. You have to kill all of the enemies that come out of this room. And that one somehow got away. I wasn't in the doorway enough. So it picks up Brute. Brute is going to be very important for a very, very good speed tech, or skip I should say, in quite a few levels time. So this part, if I can do it right, I would like to do it right after that. If we can do our movement right in this bit, we can get back to the switch before the crane comes along and use it as a little boost. Okay, I missed it slightly. What you have to do is you have to hit that switch, because if you don't hit that switch, this next level trigger isn't here, but rather a giant kill field. So I had to actually, as soon as I missed that, I wasn't going to risk it. Not after the steady death, unfortunately. So this is Into the Abyss 2. This is a weird one. We're going to go fast, and we're going to look like we're going to go fast. But actually, for the most part, it doesn't matter. This level is mostly cycle-based. So you'll see when we get there in a second. I'll explain it in a bit.
I'm being taken to this facility substation.
So the first part is just basically get to the part that we need to get to. Again, wall kicks are a little faster, but you've got a giant death pit down there to just worry yourself about. Good. That Marvin is in a random location. He can be in the way. Sometimes he is. Most of the time he isn't. Oops. Over them. Right, so for here, I want to be on the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I like doing this strategy in a very risky way. Because it looks cool, even though it doesn't do anything. So if you jump, you can get massive speed off of that. And as you can see, made it all the way down here. I love doing that. I love doing that so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, onto here, and I'll show you why none of this is actually going to matter in a second. So here I'm going to take this a slow way that I take it to make sure that I get over. I fell, that's good. I might actually not make it now. Yep. Yeah, I know I messed up. So I was supposed to grab the side of the crane at the top, but instead I actually hit the same side again. Fortunately, a checkpoint for this part is quite generous. Let's try that again. What I like to do is I like to go up on that one, up on this one, and then across from this one. I missed again? No, I just got it. Okay, cool. So, we're going to go across these. We have to be very careful because you can see these cranes above. They put furniture down and they can kill you as well. I didn't mean to fall there. I'm a little worried about this, not gonna lie. Because I don't know where those ones land. So we want to grab onto this. Being very careful of these because they explode and they can kill you. And we're going to go over there. We're going to go a little fast for this one. Stand about here. run forward and do the old slide jump. You can see that we just get right over there. So you can see that there's no platforms ahead of us. So you can see that even if you play badly, this is the first platform, and you can catch up to it. You can actually quite easily catch up to it. So it's basically cycle-based in that you can only like get us this far, and then obviously, yeah. So I'm gonna specifically kill an enemy for a weapon here. This is used for a skip in a few levels' time. Hi. And now we're gonna have to survive here for a little while, and because we're shots fired, we can kill a few enemies. Some shots. Stealth invisible. So you can see that even on easy, we still take a lot of damage. So now we want to jump on top of this. And then we want to stand about in the middle, which you can easily tell from this point. Again, because we're shots fired, might as well. That's some more shots. So we've got a tiny bit of a skip kind of optimization coming up in a bit. It's called the climb. Usually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sit inside of this and then climb up along the side. But obviously, you can tell we're on the top, so we're just gonna go up.
You okay?
I'm undamaged. However,
But this Spitfire, in the last shots fired, I actually made a joke about really wanting a certain skip in a certain level, in about a few levels' time. We found it. And this weapon, it's not necessary, but it helps. So, yeah, that's super exciting. I'll be able to show that off, which is awesome. I think it was Task, actually, who found it a week after CDQ, I'm not sure. It was definitely around that time period. But, yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump off when this aligns up, and we're going to aim for the 2 trees. Nice, good. I almost slid right over. So we're going to go up here, and then we're basically going to do the same as we were before. So we're going to use the 2 different sides so that we don't fall down. The one I climb at the minute is bad, but there we go. You have to wait for this one to come in anyway. As long as we can get here... Yep, that's good. As long as we can get there before BT finishes this dialogue, we're fine. So we're going to go on to the 3rd or the 4th tree over here for the next skip, which is... I love this skip. I can give you a bit of background about this skip, because I started speedrunning this day 1, then took a few months break because I had PC problems with it, which got patched, and now they're back again, which is wonderful. So you see that little bit of outcropping of land there? We used to stand... Actually there. We used to stand along there, and then this arena fight starts. And if we, like, crouched and held back, it pushes out of bounds. Instead, I'm just gonna go out of bounds. That wall doesn't exist. I'm just gonna go out of bounds. Nice and simple. But this is supposed to be like a 5-minute... It's supposed to be about like a 5-minute arena fight. A couple of stalkers come in, and you have to fight all of those on your own without BT. Yeah, you're supposed to line up on that. And as soon as the screen goes dark in a second, the game just pushes you through. But with this new method, we're going to jump over here. I'm going to line my crosshair up with that, and I'm going to do nothing. And when the screen goes dark, the invisible wall that I'm standing on will disappear, and we will fall directly into the level trigger.
Loading scenario 127 in Dynamic Simulation Dome 314.
Oh, it was Tron, yeah. It was, I think it was kind of like a small joint between Task and Tron. Tron was the one who started to find it. I'll describe it when we get there. Abyss 3 is a bit rough. Abyss 3, if you ask me, is one of the hardest levels to do consistently, especially the start. There's no real skips at this start. There's a big skip coming up at the end of it. But it's really hard, in my opinion, to do this starting bit really consistently. We're going to be hitting this switch on the way through and then going fast. Don't throw me out, don't throw me out. Thank you. Gonna go up here. Okay, decent. And these caverns as well, because you're on a slope, you have to jump a little faster than you usually would. I'm going to use my cloak here so that the explosive guys don't hit me. Decent caverns, I'll take that. Very decent caverns, actually, I'll take that. And then we're going to do another little bit of a wall run over here. And BT is stood in the right position. Beautiful. So,
This is a highly dangerous environment.
now it's time for Ash's skill. Ash is the lucky boss in that she's the only one we don't kill. We used to, but then we found an amazing out of bounds,
Pilot, I detected
which I believe was Task this time. I should not lock on and shoot missiles at these guys, because as you can see there, they can get in the way. But I've been telling myself that for like months not to do, and I still do it. So we're gonna need the brute loadout, which we got. These wolves as well can stop you. Like for some reason, their hitboxes can just stop you. So I'm gonna make a save just in case. I messed this up in practice. So we're gonna boost, hover, and we're gonna get on this pipe. Perfect. We're gonna go over this ring. We're gonna get out of BT while facing the wall. This pushes us out of bounds. We're gonna go back into BT. He is now out of bounds.
Pilot,
Wait for our grav boost. Get back on. Well, hover boost, I should say. Grav boost. Be careful not to go too far to the right or the left. If you go too far to the left, you will fall off like that. Rip. Try that again. Oh, that was lucky. I almost messed that up. If you go too far to the right, you spawn the boss underneath. The boss has a massive spawning area. If we accidentally spawn the boss, then we can't actually progress to the end. It will get rid of the end level trigger. There we go. That's better. Want to go here. Again, the boss trigger is right there on our right, so gotta be careful. And then we're going to cut across here. I'm going to get a specific angle that I have. Boost over a death field. Do it again. As soon as you start running BT, get out, go back in bounds, get back in BT, push him in bounds. And then we're going to go on top of this pipe. We're going to go straight over. And we're just going to go to the next level. Simple as that. That's one of the nice out of bounds that we've got in the run. Oh, quick mention, start of ENC here. Do not press forward. Even if you're playing the game casually, you start the level by falling, and you're in kind of like a ventilation shaft, and if you hit the ventilation shaft as you're falling, you can actually soft lock the game. Even casually, just by pressing W. Because the game will think that you're still continuously falling when you're not. It's rare, but it can happen. So, just don't be silly.
investigate this facility. I will meet you on the other side.
Overseer requests all teams working on the Ark analysis
So,
report to the lecture.
you can see that there's some weird goings on right now. We'll be getting into that in a little bit. But this map is basically two maps kind of loading off of one another. Like there's one either like really high up or really far below that it keeps like changing us to, or something like that. Oh, it doesn't remove the end level trigger? Oh, nice. I thought if you spawned Ash, that was it. So I'm gonna try and get rock boost here. There's a small rock here, like a. Nah, I didn't get it. Still kept my speed somehow, but that's cool. There's a small rock there that if you land on, you can actually like get a small boost of speed on. Okay. Almost.
I advise caution until we have further information.
So we found Anderson. If you remember back in BT-7274, we were supposed to go and find Anderson. This is him. He's just hanging out. That was bad. We're not doing the dialogue here because it's slow this bit.
I will analyze it.
Okay. So BT's going to play out some. I'm just going to go to a specific
Special
point.
Operation 217 now transfers to you. Congratulations on your field promotion, Pilot Cooper. The following is Anderson's mission briefing from Commander Sarah Briggs of the Militia SRS.
So there is a way from here. BT's going to grab this pole, and he's going to throw it, and it's going to make a zip line. There's a quick way to get onto it from here by kind of like doing this. But as you saw, there's a very small invisible wall. I'm not fully versed in this like small optimization, so I'm just gonna do this normally so not to lose time by falling off. But you can basically go from there, jump and grab the zip line, and then go straight into there, rather than have to start it from here. But I'm not fully, as you saw, I hit an invisible wall, and I'm not fully certain of where the boundaries of the invisible wall are, so I'm not gonna try it.
Appears to be incomplete. We are duty bound to
You have to autoscribe it, yeah, fair enough. I think like Ash skip is still like supposed to be faster than fighting Ash, but a perfect Ash fight is still gonna be like close to Ash skip, but Ash skip is so much more consistent because Ash herself, she can teleport around, and obviously we mainly use Scorch for most of the bosses, including Ash obviously at that point. So if you lay down like some of your attacks for Ash and then she teleports away, you've just wasted all of your attack. So
Gotta be an easier way.
yeah, you can jump off of that and then grab this in midair, but I'm not fully versed on that one, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna punch the robot. Again, with shots fired, so make sure we foul some shots. Quote to fulfill. There's also the nice thing about ENC is there's some doors like this one where the enemies will open it and you can just walk through the enemies, which is nice. Unfortunately, we can't get past this. I'd give anything to be able to get past this, but these lasers can kill you, as I found out when I was messing about. Okay, I hit him. There is a way to get past this quick, but as you can see, it's gonna like alternate us. You can get caught in between. And then if you get caught in between, if you're unlucky and you don't manage to get up to where the trigger to redo it is, it will force you back down and you have to go back all the way around, up the zip line again, etc, etc. So I usually like to slow down there, but it is possible to get through there in one go. But I don't want to waste 20-30 seconds by messing it up.
Sorry, Anderson.
So I found the rest of Anderson, the top half. So Anderson had this thing. It replaces our stealth for the next two missions. As you can see now, we're doing some timey-wimey stuff. We can travel through time. So this level doesn't have, like, any kind of, like, speed tech, but it has some really good kind of movement optimizations, which hopefully I'll get down. Oops, I should have timed. Some decent movement there. And again, wall kicking is faster. I like to time warp here to make sure I hit the trigger for the lift. And again, we can walk straight through, time it, and then got the lift shaft. Ideally, again, wall kicks to make it fast. Beautiful, that was nice. And then you want to be careful with the time change there, because you can actually push yourself through the wall. And this guy, you can't kill him, and he just walks through the door. But you have to come in here to set off Anderson's little speech here. We pick up fire stars for 2 levels from now, for an extension, well, not an extension, for the same skip that we got the Spitfire for.
Whatever they're planning, it's potentially catastrophic.
So Anderson's talking about the Ark. The Ark you'll see in a second. Oh, he doesn't normally pick me. Wow. You see a lot of fire here, but it's fine. You can just go through fire. And again, once you pass like this threshold here, this starts the next pilot log, which again we have to get through to be able to get through to the next part.
Anderson's log 342. The fold weapons power source is called the Ark. Doesn't look like they perfected the casing. This one's empty. The Ark must be somewhere else.
Zane here is one of the really good runners of this game. He's really good at this. So we want to go through here. I kind of messed my movement up there. Nice. Which is bad because I want to go through this fast. I'm going to bounce myself off this, hopefully. Ah, I didn't turn enough. So if you can bounce off that and then go over here, it's a lot quicker. Obviously, hello. Thank you. Still going to go over here. Again, you can just walk through fire. If you're in the time travel period, the fire isn't there, but there's like a laser mesh on the door. So we just stay in this, like the present day version. You can get over to the left, but I don't trust myself today with some of the silly deaths we've had. So let's take this normally. I'm gonna run along here. Grab into this.
Spin up the outer ring. Test sequence will commence once the is flame.
Cool. And then we're just gonna carry on down here. Careful not to touch these wires. You'll see these wires a few more times. As you can probably tell, they're instant death. And you got to be careful here because you can soft lock. There's a little tiny bin at the bottom of this, and if you hit that bin or you land on it, you'll soft lock. Because again, the whole game thinking that you're still falling perpetually, and it doesn't actually like register that you are. And again, we can just go through this door, go towards the next level. Oh dear. Right, so ENC3 does have a small little tiny bit of a skip. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it because I was never consistent at it. It only saves you a second, but it looks really cool, so we'll be going for it. I want you dead because you get in my way. Didn't get it. Okay, so you're supposed to time swap here when you activate this console to hack. And what happens is it flings you in the sky, and then you can come back, or you can... Oh, you. I want a time shift here because that Legion, who was, like, in the doorway, that guy there, he'll punch you and he'll kill you in a hit. The amount of runs lost to that one Legion is ridiculous. But basically, with time stop, it can thrust you into the sky, like, really high, and then you can, like, cool yourself down, bring yourself down. You can just walk through the wall, which is actually really cool. But again, it only saves like a second, although I've never had that stalker actually be in the way of the door before, so that's kind of frustrating. So you want to be careful here, you fall down, it's death, obviously. Oh, like I said, sometimes Cooper eats my jumps, and I don't understand why. Like I have more like a stab? Like, dude, like, the knives in this game are for hacking computers. You just punch people instead. Yeah, world record is a sick 1:23:47. The world record run is really optimized. This my run isn't that optimized, unfortunately. It's optimized enough, but it's not. There's certain like new optimizations that I'm trying to point out that are being used. Unfortunately, with the PC problems that I had over the last few months, I wasn't able to learn all of the optimizations. But this next level, there's a brand new skip. Well, it's not brand new, but it's the newest skip that we've got. Remember last Shots Fired when I asked there to be an early dialogue skip here? Well, Tron and TAS together found it. So we want to go fast, which, you know, we're speedrunning. It's a no-brainer. We want to go really fast at the start here. There's a set of 6, 7 stalkers on the wall of the beacon, where we actually want to kill them. So they're all on like a randomized death timer, which I think Tron found out. And by killing them and then getting back to BT quick enough over here, and I'm not doing very good at that, so my movement isn't great. Oh, that's bad. I gotta be careful because I'll die otherwise. This is probably not gonna work. I think I've taken too long. This is why we have the Spitfire, because we've got a lot of them to take care of. Obviously, you want to aim for the red bits on the back, so you're going to get a nice bit of EU aim here. I'm going to throw the Firestalker at those to see if they die or not, because the one of them has a tendency not to die sometimes for me. So I'm going to try and get back to BT quick enough. I probably won't be able to. Also, if you do this too fast, you can actually soft lock the game, so maybe it's a good thing.
I'm detecting militia forces inside that beacon control room. They're signaling the stress.
I'm guessing it's not going to work.
Hey, you out there, pilot? Are you reading us?
Nah, not worked.
We can use some help over
Can I get a
here.
semi? No.
For the 3rd militia.
Threat neutral.
That's not a good one. If you can get back there in time, you can get that dialogue skip before Cole, before even BT starts talking.
All threats have been eliminated.
That's a pain in the backside.
You saved our asses. Those stalkers just kept
Also, we picked up Ronin Claw. We're going to be using that at certain points in the run as well.
We're opening the blast doors. Come on in.
Disembark boost. There's your disembark boost that I didn't manage to show off earlier. So you can see that I went from BT all the way down there, all the way up to here. That's the disembark boost I was trying to get on Bloodlust.
Status of the beacon.
It's really good for getting like a huge bit of height, but again, the only place we really use it is Bloodlust. There's a really awesome skip coming up on the 3rd version of this level, where we only use a certain skip for that.
Power up to 5.
Even though it's a really brilliant skip.
Yeah, we know what it is.
Can you repair it?
So,
Nah, we already tried.
power's offline, there's also
Sensors
a
indicate
call
another
out,
one of the
but we need to go and grab a thing called the Arc Tool. And as you can hear, you know, humans can't really get down there, but we have jump pads and stuff like that, so it's up to us, of course.
You must recover the Arc Tool.
They didn't build this place expecting humans to hit the buttons.
It's easy because... Oh, thank God I hit the trigger. It's easy because all of the speed tech that we try and do is a lot easier on easy, and you can still die. You can still die very easily. The Master Percent difficulty there is only 3 runners who have ever done a run of Master Percent, because Master Percent isn't fun. You die in like 1-2 hits, and the enemies track you through walls, so it's a little hard to do some of the speed tech in it. Like some of the speed stuff we do, that's not good. Heck. So you can see again, you've got the wires on the walls. They're instant death if we hit them. I kind of messed up my movement and momentum going forward, but it should be fine. I'm just being careful because rather not die. Some people like to bring the L-Star in here. I'm not a fan of the L-Star, so I use shotgun for that guy. But 5-star on that guy who spawns there. Thought, and that should open the door. Wasn't certain if that guy died or not to the end, but he did. Oh. I take this corridor very dangerously, so I'm just gonna take it a little easier this time. If I was going for PB, I'd be right on those wires. So okay, I didn't manage to grab the side of the wall, which you just want something to stop your momentum there, basically. So here I'm gonna intentionally wait a second, go over here. He's got our arc tool. By doing that, we do fan skips. So if you're too slow there, you get pushed and then you die. Speed a little bit. And again, same premise here. Want to grab the wall. Nice, that was good. I'm going to use stealth here because this robot on the left can punch you and actually push you into a death pit, which is a lovely fella. We've got a skip coming up here real quick. Hope I can do it first time. We skip this entire room on the left. That's not looking good. Too low. So the kill field for this is actually pretty high up. I'll do that. I'll give it another try, another attempt, because the checkpoint is quite generous here. But basically my air strafing there was pretty bad. So let's give this another go. Nah, I messed up. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. Oops, I'll just do it normally. You want to be a bit careful with your movement behind these. If you're doing like the slide hopping, like you've seen me do, sometimes it can just keep pushing you anyway, even though you're behind it. If I made the jump and like made it to here, I'd still have had to have gone back into the room real quick because there's an invisible barrier up ahead. With the beacon, there's certain key points that you have to hit through each level. If you don't hit those key points, certain kill triggers won't disappear. Oh god. Oh god. Sometimes the arc tool won't lock onto the thing. It's a pain in the backside. So if I hadn't gone back in the room, or obviously done the room normally, there would have been an invisible wall there that would have just pushed me away. We usually used to to get fresh 5 stars here for this next part, but we found a bit of an optimization that requires us to pick up grav stars instead. So there's no point in picking up the 5 stars on the bottom of the stairs. But this is beacon 3. Beacon 3 is... If you ask a lot of speedrunners and you ask them what their favourite skip is, they'll say the one in this one. Beacon 3 has had a lot of changes over time, and shout-outs to Respawn, the devs, who have been really brilliant to us as speedrunners. They've intentionally sometimes like gone back on like certain changes to patches in single player. Like one patch changed the kind of how tone worked a little bit, and we only use it on BT, but they actually changed it back in single player for us. So they're pretty awesome, and they've also helped out a few times with other stuff, but basically they know about this and they basically didn't change it for us. But when the game went free to play, or they had like a free weekend, I should say, not free to play. The game had a free weekend where they had 2 missions, the tutorial mission, the Gauntlet, and also the entirety of the beacon. So all the stuff that you've seen and this level. We used to be able to replace the module at the end of the level on the top of the dish, which you'll see in a second. I'll show you now. We're going basically up to where that blue light is. That's actually collectible, but there's a little bit above it. I see it from here again. So you see that bit there that I'm aiming at, the blue bit? We're going to be going up there. Basically, we used to be able to get on top of the dish early as soon as we get the other module, come back and replace it early after a fight. The fight is one of the key points that we have to go through. However, that had a very small chance of soft-locking the game. So, Respawn, obviously, when they made the game on a free weekend, they changed that because, obviously, you know, if some people also, like us, decided to be adventurers and go up there early, they could accidentally soft-lock the game, etc., etc. But then they didn't change something else about this level. We call it fastball, and then it evolved. It evolved even further into super fastball. So, as some people in the chat have said, we're going to get moon boots. We need brute, and yes, to the folks who are watching, I'm doing this my old way because I can't do it. I can't do it the normal way for some reason. I've tried and I just can't do it. So what we want is we want the brute's hover function and a ramp. Ironically enough, we can both here. Going to get out. What we want to do is we want to hover against the ramp while running, get out, and then get back into BT again real quick there so it doesn't run off and go down the bottom. And you'll notice a little something here. Notice my jump. Notice how large it is. We've just cut our gravity. So we've cut it by, what was it? Was it by like something like 17%? Like a weird number, like 15-20%. But basically, you can see that we can go a lot further. Now, let's say we had something that could fling us at high velocity. BT. So we used to go through there, then on there. Now watch where we go. Hopefully I get this right, because I have messed this up once or twice in practice.
Heading 274, range 95 meters, projectile mass 89 kilograms. Trust me.
Now we go in the sky. Uh-oh, I slightly touched that. Okay, we're fine. I'm a little low, not gonna lie. Okay, we're good. We're good. Usually, if you get a good one, and I didn't get a good start, you can actually land on that small outcrop there, and you can just keep going. Or you could go on the outside of this and keep going, but I felt like I was too low. So I'm gonna take it a little safe, so I don't lose like 30 seconds to that death. That was weird. Hello. And because of low grav, we're gonna just skip all of this and grab this. Gonna skip the entirety of the inside of this, and now we're gonna do another small little optimization. The module that we want... Alright, just lost a bit of my speed. The module that we want is on that dish there. The control panel for it is actually up there, but what we're going to do instead is we're going to grab these grav stars. One is a CP2, beautiful, first time, thank you. And we're just going to get over here quick. Simple as that. And because we have low gravity, because of moon boots, we can get back just as easy. Nice. I've been messing that up in practice, so nailing that first time has actually made me really happy. And yeah, and it's simple. You just go off the little antenna dish. Now, certain runners are able to throw a grav star against this, and go really fast along. I've been practicing it for like the last day, but I can't get it, unfortunately. We call it zipless, because you can just go all the way along here, and you can actually skip all of these, like, straight away. It's really brilliant, and you get so much speed from it. So I would recommend going and watching that if you can. But you can see, because of the low grav, we can just, like, we can skip over so many platforms. I'm going to take this part one at a time, because I've had a lot of runs die to Cooper just deciding not to grab onto the actual thing. You want to be careful here, turn around, because if that guy hits you, he's going to knock you down. And then you're going to die. I want to try and get a grav star or two on this guy to damage him. And I want to be here for when these stalkers come here, and grav star them. And now, basically, we want to do this fight. We want to do this fight because obviously we can't replace the module, so it's now quicker for us to actually do the fight. Excuse me, sir. Good old EU aim. I'm gonna trust in BT to eliminate the rest. I'm gonna start my climb. As soon as the music like hits this interval, if it's done right, you'll know. Yep, he's done it. Thank you, BT.
All threats eliminated.
Yeah, I use a 2 Mississippi system. I also do that for Barker Skip. So again, it's slower if we do a dialogue choice here, because then this doesn't start moving. And like I said, before we used to be able to walk up there and like just land on top of it and then just replace it at the top. But it used to soft lock us. So they took it out, but again, because of Super Moon Boots, we saved like 45 seconds. So it's really great.
For the module is at the top of this dish. A throw combined with additional climbing is required.
So I used to soft lock there, at that exact point. As soon as BT grabs you there, it just fling you back. So, and send you to the title screen. Switch to Ronin. Provided we don't use Brute Hover again, we're going to keep Moon Boots until the end of the level. So, I forgot to use my boost there, but we can basically... Moon Boots also work slightly in BT, which is pretty cool. So we get a little bit of extra air there. Right, for this next part, I'm going to look directly at this door so that the Reapers spawn behind me directly.
Reapers inbound.
Enemies spawn based on the direction that you're looking. We found this out quite a few months ago, so I'm going to be looking in very specific places. I can miss up to 3 shots here for these 3. And then for this last one, I'm going to look specifically at this door because there's going to be 2 proper Titans that spawn in. The Brute can be a pain in the backside. There's a thing called Super Brute. It keeps happening to me a lot, where this Brute will just fly off into the sky and just leave. I wanted to wait so he did that. Same idea as the Richter fight. So I'm going to intentionally stand on this rock. Be a little far forwards with the Scorch. This is going to make Richter spawn a little further to the door.
Care to have a real fight? Let's see what you got up close and personal.
I'm just going to punch Richter until he goes back against the wall. Hopefully it happens straight away. Sometimes Richter is a pain in the backside, doesn't like to play nice, although sometimes he just go over there himself. We're going to put our fire down. Later, Richter. You want to get him as close to the wall as possible. Some players. Way there's your disembark boost balloon boots as well. Just go straight into the ceiling. Also, watch the NPCs. Yep, they come in through the walls. Some players actually instead get Richter on top of this, like stuck onto this rock here. Either method works. I like my wall method, but that one seems to be a bit more consistent.
Data stream. Awaiting response.
Here's hoping someone's still up there.
Now we've got a good minute or two of cutscenes, so if you need a snack or a quick drink or anything, you can grab that now.
Protocol 2. Uphold the mission. Report intel to the fleet attached to the SRS unit.
In fact,
Solid copy.
I'm gonna do that myself.
I hear you guys are still
Drink
down
real quick.
there. We're receiving your data now.
BT-7274. Your data recorder says your original pilot was KIA.
Correct.
That's the nice thing about the
Captain
runs. There's
Tyler
two
Amos
specifically
was killed
designed
in action.
points where if you need a drink or
Now
you've
linked to an
had all your
active
drink, you can
pilot,
go and get it.
Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Wait a minute. Lastimosa linked you to a rifleman?
Yes, he had no other options.
Understood. We'll get you transferred to a fully qualified pilot.
Objection.
So as an aside,
Cooper is my pilot.
when I was talking
Our
earlier about the
combat
level
effectiveness rating
that
now
might look a
exceeds
tiny bit like a
50%.
slideshow for like 30 seconds,
Permission to
it's the
retain
next one.
link.
I'm fairly certain that I've set up Titanfall the way that I used
lucky
to,
our backs are up against the wall these
but like I said, one of the patches has
Permission
made
granted.
my performance a little worse
High
for some
praise
reason.
coming from a machine.
It keeps happening. Like the next patch, everything will be fine
Thanks to
again.
your scan data,
It's
we
kind of
have
weird.
tracked its energy signature to an IMC base right here on Titan. We don't have much time. Let's go.
So we got a nice rundown of the plot of what we're now doing from Sarah. We're now going after the Ark. We know where it is, etc. And this is Trial by Fire. There's a cool thing at the start, but there's not much. There's not much in the way of like speedrun skips and stuff. We have tried to like go to the end point, but again, like the beacon, there are certain points on the level that you have to trigger before the end level trigger happens, which is a shame, but we've already got some pretty cool tech in here, so.
Your mission is to capture the Ark before it can leave the airbase. Marauder Corps, weapons hot.
So mostly at the start there's going to be optimization, apart from the very start. Not quite sure which clever sausage found this out, but we're gonna see all those turrets on that wall. We're gonna go and walk over to them. You know, just a load of big, giant, nasty death turrets. We're just gonna casually just sort them off. We're gonna bring up our sword to block as many of the bullets as we can. As soon as our shield starts to go down fast, we're gonna go forward. And this wall gets blown up by our allies to let the enemies out, but we're just gonna, you know, walk through it. So I'm gonna move here specifically, so I can get next to an enemy, so that I don't die. So most of this is just gonna be me killing specific enemies and making sure that our allies actually get close to us, because Sarah is a pain in the backside and her AI is a pain in the backside and is very much a pain in the backside and won't actually come with us. So cool, door's open, that's good. Hopefully she comes with us. I think there might be one more that stops her. So I'm going to specifically build up core in certain parts here. You can see me using the gas canisters to kind of manipulate the enemies to where I want them to go sometimes. I'm going to switch to tone for this next part. Try and kill this little guy. And now, when I say Sarah's AI is bad, she will stop to kill every single human that she can find. So we're gonna just live up to shots fired and just fire a few extra shots to make sure that she doesn't kind of stay behind. Wait on that for a second. And now we want to build up our core for the next bit, but not use it. If we use our core for the next bit, it's gonna be slow. That's a bit of a worry. Wow, so bad at this. I need some battery. I'm a little worried. Are you just gonna? Ooh, that's curious.
Here we go. Get ready, pilot. Go
Huh? How'd it go?
That was the easy part.
No, that was the hard part. Shush. Basically, I kind of just skipped a Titan there. That is very rare to happen because Sarah loves to stand at the back and just shoot people. Like, not even Titans, people. So here we're going to use our core for Ronin. And you can see that as long as it's alive, our core is up. You can see that our boost bar at the bottom just keeps refreshing itself. So obviously we're going to use that to just go across. Because all we have to do is go to the endpoint at this point. So we're going to rebuild it up in a second. Oh, hello, sir. Yeah, that's my keyboard. It's a mechanical. So these little Reapers will get in your way. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Well, so yeah, you will hear my spacebar because I do have a mechanical. Are we gonna be blessed with the Super Brute? The Superman Brute of Destiny? Is he gonna fly through here or not?
Final launch checks complete.
Nah, we're not. Rip. So sometimes one of the brutes that lands at the start just flies off towards this point. Don't know why. It just does. We're calling the Superman Brute of Destiny. Blesses your runs with luck and fast. Saving my boost until I get to the ramp so we can get up it quicker. That was actually a really good trial by fire because of Sarah just walking past that one Titan. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Right. You ask any player casually what level they think is really cool, they'll probably say the Ark. You ask any speedrunner what level they don't like, they vehemently hate with all their passion, the Ark. So we have a skip on the Ark called Barker Skip. I hate this skip with passion. See at the bottom that I have a grenade? We need a grenade for that Barker Skip, so what I'm going to do is get out of here. Bye. I'm still going to try Barker Skip. I'm going to give it 3 attempts. We frag boost over to it. Frag boosting gives us a better chance of hitting it. You can still do it normally, but it's a lot harder. I hate this skip. I'm just going to put it out there. This skip is the worst skip in anything ever. So we're going to attempt to jump over to Barker Skip early without having BT throw us over. Now, if that happens, which don't expect it, I'm going to give it 3 tries, but don't expect it, we open up a box of infinite possibilities, where there's about 4 or 5 different soft locks to avoid. The level geometry changes, so it can randomly kill you. I dislike this skip. I very, very much dislike this skip. Also, Satellite of Viper, I hate this guy. I have good tone too, so it's BT. So you might be wondering how, also, because of the FPS, look at the top, you can see BT because of our high FOV even. You can just see him hanging in the sky. And then all of a sudden, hey BT. So you can see my 0 grenades multiplied into 4. Someone recently found that if you chuck a grenade at the start, you can actually get 4 grenades. This is awesome. That helps for later. So we're going to stand in a specific place, or a reasonably specific place, and I'm going to do some Mississippis and try and get over. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. What is this meme of getting first time Barker Skip in a marathon? This is an awful meme! Can't do it to save my life in a run? Yes! That's nice, alright. Alright, we're off. Oh wow. If this was a run, this would be very good. I'm gonna have to cloak here because I'm close to death. Of course I'll get it first time. I hate Barker Skip. I can't tell you how much I hate that skip. I only ever get it first time, either in marathons or on dead runs. So I'm gonna go across here. The only one we have to deal with is the last gun. I'm gonna intentionally shoot this guy first. You gotta be careful here, because when the ship moves, if you stop him... No, I fucked up. So you wanted to stop him before he spawned these, because... Basically, as long as they're enemies... Oh no. Ugh. As long as there are enemies on this platform, the next part won't actually trigger. This isn't what I want. That's bad. Oh god. That was bad. So if I had done that right, and I actually changed the order that I killed my enemies in, I wanted to kill those two first, after the big guy. We're just going to jump on top of Sarah's ship real quick, by the way. I want to jump a second time so not to trigger a kill field. And we can just... Okay, because we have those 3 grenades, we can quite nicely just do this real quick. I don't know where my grenade landed, that's why I was being a bit careful. I needed another grenade out of this. Hi. Oh no. Not again! Oh yes, fast us. For those... So I intensively, on purpose, get rid of all the enemies on Gates' side, because Gates seems to be a pain in the backside. Nice, good room clear. Gates seems to be a pain in the backside and doesn't clear her side of the room well, because there's like enemies... What? I'm already up here! I've never heard that dialogue before. So Gates sometimes gets stuck, because there are enemies like hide behind there, hide behind there, hide behind there. So you want to make sure, or at least I make sure that I clear Gates' side first, because this is a pain in the backside. Alright, so we got a problem. Because of Barker Skip, we're now on a time limit for this next bit. We have to align the ship with another ship. And normally you're not on a time limit. But because of Barker Skip, and because the game thinks you're in a different position, the game will shove an NPC into you, forcing you through the floor and killing you. So I have to align these ships, and this game doesn't like me doing that. So I'm gonna try my best, but no guarantees.
You got it. On my way. Hold on, Tin Man. All call signs. Clean up hostiles and rendezvous with the Draconis.
Right, that's it. Okay, good. So now into... Wow. Well, there you go. Thanks, game. Thumbs up.
Copy that, 6-4. Cooper, you still have control of the bridge. Use your data knife to
Thanks, game. I hate this level so much.
Got it. On my way. Hold on, Tin Man.
All call signs. Clean up hostiles and rendezvous with the Draconis. This is it.
Oh, too high, aren't I?
You're up too high. Push the stick forward.
I gotta go left. Oh, bother. I hate this for some reason. It just doesn't... Yeah, okay, that's lined up. Okay, thumbs up. Thumbs up. So, intentionally, we have to move back here. Even though BT's here, part of the game thinks that BT is back there. If we're next to the console when BT pushes his arm through the window, the game will soft lock. I hate this though. So when BT opens up his hatch, all good.
Cooper will cover you from the rear. Take the deck.
I hate this level. Like, I can't tell you enough how much I hate this level. We're not out of the woods yet. There's one more lovely little glitch that can happen. We can randomly die in BT, but stay in BT here, and the game won't like what happens in soft locks. It's a wonderful thing. Basically, when you use Barker Skip, you are opening a realm of who knows what. I don't know why I did that. Now, I hate the Viper fight. Most good players, which is not me, can kill Viper in 4 running shots. I'm just going to do this old-fashioned way. Using Expedition Core. Good, you haven't glitched out. So in the past 2 weeks I've been practicing, Viper, when he goes down, when his HP goes into the critical there, he's supposed to blow up and disappear. I've had runs this week where he hasn't, because I hate this level. That's it.
Adjusting for wind resistance.
This level is, I can't stress enough how awful this level is. In a speedrun sense, of course. It does have some really neat skips, but the fact that those neat skips can just open up a world of hurt is just... I hate it so much. You have no idea. I could rant for hours about how much I hate it. So we're gonna wait until he jumps on BT here, and then we're gonna jump so we don't get knocked back, of course. And
I've lost the hatch. Need cover. Need cover.
okay. Sometimes you can headshot him and get it in 1 hit. Sometimes you can headshot him and get it in 3 hits. And sometimes he just won't die. Like that.
Left arm severed. However, I'm still operational.
The Mastiff, like, sometimes can kill him in 1 hit, which is why I use the Mastiff. It's a little more consistent to use, say, a Spitfire or the double take. But again, if you can get a headshot with a Mastiff, it usually kills him in a hit, and it's but now we should be past all of the soft locks unless something random happens that we've never seen before. Which, you know, good old marathon lock.
We must improvise. I cannot reach the Ark. Cooper, I need your help.
Exactly, Andarius. You ask any runner, and they will say outright they hate the Ark. The Ark is not a nice speedrun level. Of course I give first time Ark a skip.
This way, Cooper.
So we also found recently, I believe it was Zane actually who found recently, that by doing both of these dialogue choices is actually quicker than waiting for it. By about 2 or 3 seconds.
What are you doing?
Protocol 3. I will not lose another pilot. Brace for impact.
Oh, just this meme of me getting first time Barker skip on dead runs or marathons has to stop. I need first time Barker skip in runs, please. So, unfortunately, after that explosion, as you can see, both us and BT got captured by Blisk. We did get the Mississippi first try as well. I love getting Grav Star first time. That's ridiculous. So again, we got a big long set of cutscenes here. If you want to go and grab yourself a drink or some snacks, you can do so now.
Just have my money ready. I'll get you your precious cargo, you useless nav. Oi, Titan. You're gonna open up and give me what I want.
Voice command. Not recognized.
Let me just rip it out of him.
Can't risk it. The Ark's unstable. Listen, hero. You have what's mine, and I want it back. Go on. Tell your Titan to open up.
About what? His feelings?
Still trying to be a hero, eh? I have a lot of dosh riding on this contract, my friend. So tell your Titan, if he doesn't open up, I will shoot you in the head.
Pilot in jeopardy. Ocular systems. Marginal. Cannot visually acquire pilot.
Stand him up.
So watch Blisk in a second. Blisk's gonna do the best flip you've ever seen. And then watch as he sinks into the floor.
Functions compromised by severe
I
crash
don't
damage.
care how broken you are. I know deep down, some things still work in there. Now open up. And I'm going to shoot your pilot in the head.
So you see Sloane's Titan is still on
You
the
still
right.
remember numbers, don't you? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. That wasn't so hard, was it? That's the problem with teams. If you don't win together, you die together.
10 out of 10 for that spin. Watch him on the right. He just fell through the floor. And you can see the Stone Titan, even though it's already in the room, is coming out of the floor. Love having a high FOV.
Nice try, lad. Say goodnight.
Alright, get the ark out of here! We're running out of time!
Poor BC. So I heard, I'm not actually certain if this is true or not, so I might just be doing something and looking like an idiot for a few seconds, but I've heard that the quick way to get this next part, or a way to get this next part to trigger a bit quicker, is to, you know, do, you know, what you think is correct and stand in fire. I don't know if it is true or not, I just do it. This fire doesn't exist, this fire doesn't exist, that fire exists, that does, that does, that does.
I can no longer uphold the mission. But you still can.
We lost poor BT, so I'm just going to stand in a tiny bit of fire for a little bit.
It's your best chance for survival.
So again, with the foreshadowing, remember what Lastamos was doing at the start of the game? Here we get the Seer Kit. Inside the Seer Kit, Lastimosa, we have... If you know Titanfall, you'll know this weapon very well. It is the auto pistol. And we have ourselves another data knife. Yes, and a knife for hacking, not for stabbing people with. In the future, you use knives to hack computers. And of course... BT's data core. Let's get out of here, shall we? Survive, evade, resist, escape. You actually can't die from it? Oh, sweet. Oh, it's like a situation like the beacon. You can't, in the radiation chamber on beacon 3, you can't actually die in there. Oh, I always try and run against that door frame as well, but I can't. I think I'd have learned that after like 300 runs.
Boost the signal. I need to get through to them.
I have a lock on Cooper's position. He's pulled BT's data core. You must have the Seer Kit.
That door that we just went under is actually a little bigger than most of the doors in the run, so if you jump a little too early, you'll actually bonk your head and lose your speed.
We've only got one shot to turn this fight around and you're it. Our fleet's moving in on the fold weapon. We're coming. It's not over yet.
Uh-oh. Kill him. I thought I was going to get hit in the back there.
Are extremely heavy around the fold weapon. We're having trouble getting boots on the ground and we're running out of options.
So again, for this part, we're just going to run through. I'm going to try and go a specific route along the top that's a little quicker. I'm going to try and go above the roof here. Get up here at least. I'll go the slightly slower way of getting up here, but making sure I try at least. And perfect. So that stops us having to go through that little building there. Say it's a good few seconds.
Hello, Jack.
So, we got one last thing to do. So, this next part, there used to be a thing called toner. The door on the way up here is going to be shut, and we used to. Oh, I didn't get that many people for that. To do a bit of extra work. So the door in a minute that we're going to go to, we used to have to push a tone into it, and the tone would then open the door so we could get in quick. And it was very RNG reliant because obviously enemies don't always stand in the same position. They're not always easily manipulatable. So we had a bit of a problem. And then some very, very clever person decided I'm just gonna do something. And they basically went up to the door, like so, and they jumped into it. And the top part of the door doesn't exist. No need for tone RNG at all. We can just jump straight through the door.
Attention IMC
Oh, I almost died there. That rocket almost killed me. I'm probably going to suffer a little bit of FPS CPU drop here. If I do, I apologize. I do here for some reason. I don't know why. And we have... Next up is the final boss, but we do have a tiny bit left of the run after that. So...
Have your money, please. Now go. My forces will take over from here.
Yeah, it's a cherry red. Cherry MS red. So it is a little on the loud side, I apologise. I love cherry reds.
Who said anything
They've been
about
fantastic.
salvage? I'll do this one for free.
So, Sloan Fight is essentially free, free phases. I hadn't reloaded, good. So again, where you look depends on where enemies spawn. I want to build up Scorch so I can Scorch Core these two. This guy is not necessary to kill, but he's just going to get in the way. You really spawn all the way at the back, Sloan? So I'm being a little careful with her because she's going to laser core me. Or not. Okay, thanks, Sloan. I hate this Sloan fight. I'm going to play it safe considering my HP. And this guy being up my backside. So, what most people do here is they use Running Core. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Scotch Core instead. Because I don't want to die. I actually missed. I did actually miss. Let us know. Oh. Too fat to fit down here. So, with Sloan, what you actually wanna do is you wanna use Running Core. You wanna like try and stun her with your obviously your sword slash at the start, and then you can use Core and then you can take her down. But when she uses laser, you're supposed to phase through her. I've had a few let's just call them accidents. A few accidents where I've accidentally boosted either into her or into a place that I can't escape from. So I take it a little easy considering it's a marathon. So we have one last little bit to go.
I don't work for free. But
it's just like to bomb out, sure.
You don't get to kill me either. Yeah, you earned this, eh?
To be fair, it is a loud keyboard. I swear, it's not just me.
Not my problem, Marta. Should have put it in my contract. I've got other people with money to see. What are you doing?
So we are hoping that there's a Titanfall 3, because this is a nice little setup for what potential Titanfall 3 could be. Because this has been like, even if you want to like get this game casually, I think it's a fantastic speedrun apart from the first like 8-9 minutes. But I think it's a fantastic speedrun. It's got loads of good tech. We have a really good community and nice community as well, and a really great kind of like compendium of speed tech that everyone's like contributed to, etc., etc. But even just casually, this has been a fantastic campaign. If I hit this tree on the way out, I'm gonna get mad. So this is gonna be the final escape coming up. It's kind of like a mini obstacle course with like lower grab and like things flying everywhere. There's a particular tree at the end which certain runners like to accidentally hit on the way out. It's on the very final island, and I'm one of the people who likes to accidentally hit it all the time.
I sure as hell hope so. We're on our way. Good luck, both of you. Briggs out.
Yeah, just before the end again, I'd like to say once again, thanks to Shots Fired. It's been a fantastic marathon. It's been a great 7 days as well, so here's the end of the marathon also being awesome and success.
Protocol 3, protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
Okay, so it's the last one. Time will be in about 45 seconds or so. I'll call that out. God, Parker's gonna save us, of course. This isn't the tree, don't worry, we don't usually hit that tree. Also, sometimes I'll have a silly death here, or we'll have a silly death here, because Cooper won't grab onto that wall there for some reason. Here comes the tree. I didn't hit the tree, huzzah! And... time. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Next up should be the awesome Fallout 4 run with Bubbles. Thank you for watching.